Hey guys, Sydney here from Slick Junkies. Thanks for tuning in. In this episode, we have a beautiful vintage mid-century Mad Men type look. It's dated back in the 50s. This is the iconic Franklin Sulfur. Obviously, this needs a massive restoration. We're going to tackle the upholstery, tackle the wood. So join me and let's get slick. It's good to stay tuned, so welcome back. So with this Franklin Sulfur, when I got it from the original owners, they took good care of their mid-century furniture, especially with this Sulfur. It was in pretty good condition, especially with the wood and how structurally it sounds. So there was no need for me to do any major reconstruction or repair on the frame itself. So detaching the legs from the Sulfur was a bit challenging for me. The way it was designed was totally out of my league. So I was trying to look for how the screws were screwed into the Sulfur. So what I did is just flip it over, and I noticed there were two running bars that support the frame of the leg. So you have the left leg and the right leg. So you have the top support running bar and you have the bottom support running bar. So in order for me to basically take both legs out, I had to take top running support frame. That gave me a better chance in taking whichever legs that I prefer. I unscrewed it. That gave me a loophole to take the bottom running support frame that ran across to the other end of the Sulfur. Finally solved my puzzle, did the finishing touches, so unscrewed it, took the leg off. I loaded up into the van. I'm off to my upholstery guy. Whilst driving, I was wondering what kind of material I'm going to be using. He has an amazing collection of material. So when we get there, we'll figure it out. So I'm off. Let's go. Got to my upholstery guy there safely. This is Alan. I've been working with him for almost 5 to 6 years now. He does all our mid-century upholstery in the showroom. He does an amazing, fantastic job. So I'll be leaving a comment down below if you ever need help or you're in the area, just link him up. So while driving to the upholstery guy Alan's place to deliver the Sulfur, I was pondering on the type of material I was going to use. Because of the weather, it was winter, it was gloomy. So I wanted to go with the forest green, some kind of like a vibrant color. So I ended up with 4, then 3, and finally 1. And this is the forest green material that I chose. So done with the material, I ordered it and I'm off home. So now that we tackled the upholstery, it's going to take a week for me to hear from Alan. And after we're going to go there and pick it up. So now we back to the wood section and now to the legs. With the leg, it has some dings and scratches on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go ahead and sand it. I'm going to go ahead and teach you guys a little bit of trick that I use to maintain a little bit of small knickknacks on the wood. To start off, I use a fine steel wool, and this you can find this from your local hardware store. For the staining of the wood, I use an Old Masters gel stain, and they do have different varieties of walnut shades. I went ahead to use the special walnut. I don't know what I was doing there. I could have used the scissors. So you take a little bit of the steel wool, you dip it into the Old Masters, then you apply it across the board of the wood. Now the trick is if you still want to maintain the natural look of the wood, now the scuff marks and dings needs to be extremely minimal, because the more it is, then you have no choice basically to sand the whole entire wood. Then you could apply whatever stain that you prefer. Now with this one, when you apply the stain on the wood, make sure you have to press firmly and very abrasive on the wood, because we want to go ahead and take as much as possible dings and scuff marks from the wood. So when applying the stain, make sure the concentration does not only side to where the scuff marks or dents are, but make sure you apply it to the whole entire wood, because you want to have a uniform stain application. For the support runners, there was no dings or scuff marks on it because it was way up high there and there was less traffic going to that place. So I went ahead to stain it with the same special walnut just to have the same look as the two legs, and pressed firmly and abrasive on it, and I left it there for 5 minutes for the stain to absorb the wood. Once it's all dried up, I wipe the excess stain out from the wood. Now keep in mind, whilst you're wiping out the wood or taking out the excess stain from the wood, make sure you don't press too hard, because once you do, you're taking a lot of chunk of the stain from the wood, then you're back to square one, then you have to go ahead and restain the whole thing again. So make sure you apply gently and take it off, and this is how it looks after wiping the whole entire stain out from the wood. So now we leave it there, let it dry, come back the following day and we'll apply the oil. It's a new day, it's all dried up, and we're back to oil application. For the oil, I use very thin all natural oil. The after finish product is amazing. I've never had any problem with this oil, and I've used it on all my mid-century furniture. So I will leave in the information in the comment section. For the cloth, I use a lint-free microfiber cloth, a little bit of dab on the oil, and make sure you press gently on the wood, because the more firm you press on the wood, it might leave streak marks once it's dry. So go in the direction of the wood, and once it's done, you just let it dry. So after a week, I got a call, my upholstery is done. I head towards the upholstery, and there it is. Now it's all loaded up. I brought it into the shop, and now let's do a reveal. Let's open it up in a better lighting. Let's see how the color turns out to be. With a little bit of better lighting, we get to see the forest green velour material that I chose for the Franklin sulfur. So kudos to Alan, he did an amazing job. This looks really, really good. He even went to the extent of taking the bottom material off from the sulfur. If you guys recall, he had the gray material off, took that off, put new material on. This looks really amazing. He really did an amazing job on it. Now that we unwrap the whole sulfur wrap and how beautiful it is, now let's put the finishing touches on it. So we're going to go ahead and attach the top runner and do the bottom runner, and we'll attach both legs, and let's see how it turns out to be. And there it is, it's all attached, and that's how it looks. Make sure to subscribe us to get more notification on new videos we'll be posting, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and make sure to share us as well. Thanks for watching.